Alright guys, so we're starting to get more and more information about version 6.3 and all the upcoming characters, and since there's currently a lot of misinformation going around, a lot of you are probably wondering if all this new information is even true or not. And because I love you guys so much, we're gonna analyze all the new information we have about version 6.3 and how much of it is actually true. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. First of all, if you want to pull for Durin or any of the upcoming characters, but you don't have enough Primo Gems like I do, you might want to check out rushbuy.gg. It is a very trusted and safe way to top up at a much cheaper price. I've personally tried it and I can confirm that it's safe to use. If you want to top up, you can also use my code to get an additional 15% discount. All you have to do is to enter your UID plus the server that you play on, and it will arrive on your account within 5 minutes. And for those of you who are worried about getting banned or something, it's not gonna happen. They're using official authorized top-up services, and as I said, I've used it myself and I had a very good experience with it, so there's no need to worry. But now, let's get back to the video. Alright, so starting with Columbina and the White Horse Adeptus, let's take a look at all the information we have about them, because this is where you have to be really careful. On the first piece of information, it says Columbina will be a 5-star Hydro Catalyst, a dedicated support for Lunar reactions, and also a sub DPS. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly as we predicted it in my last video. I told you guys she was not gonna be a main DPS. But this is not really important right now. What truly matters is this. For Columbina, it says she scales with HP, crit, elemental mastery, and energy recharge. Her signature artifact set buffs Lunar reaction damage, and when casting Columbina's elemental burst, she opens her eyes, spreads her wings, and deploys a domain expansion. At C0, her damage output is not low and apparently even higher than C0 Furina. Her elemental burst has a 20-second duration and a 15-second cooldown, while her signature weapon and her C4 compensate for Columbina's high ER requirements. And then for the White Horse Adeptus, it says she's a 5-star Geo sword user, a lady body type, which essentially just means tall female, and a Lunar Crystalize DPS. Okay, and then here it says she has white hair, her C6 provides a 48% elevation buff, and all 6 constellations together give a 20% elevation buff, and her C1 to C5 give a 3% elevation buff each. Now, you're probably wondering what exactly an elevation buff is. And I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what this is supposed to mean. Like, maybe this is some sort of mistranslation and it says something completely different, but I don't know, like, we'll have to see. Anyway, overall, the information we currently have about Columbina and the White Horse Adeptus sounds pretty insane, right? But how much of this is actually true? And this is where you guys have to listen carefully. All the information on this picture is most likely definitely 99% true. The reason for that is because the source is very clear and the information comes from Kokomi, which is a very reliable source since they have a good track record. Now, when it comes to this picture, it gets really complicated because while the information itself seems to make sense, Flying Flame is not really that reliable as a source. When it comes to leaks from the beta, we can trust him, but anything that this guy says before the beta starts needs to be taken with a huge grain of salt. Like, for instance, this is the exact same dude who said there would be a Chronicled Wish banner in version 5.4 and that Madame Ping would be playable and Arlecchino would die and all that stuff. So when it comes to this, we gotta be careful, alright? The only thing in here which is definitely true is the description of Columbina's burst animation, since the original source for that is Kokomi. The description of Columbina's artifact set is probably true as well, but everything else is subject to change. Also, if anyone cares, those are the original names for the new 4-star and the White Horse Adeptus. Their original names are Zibai and Yeluoya. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna try to spell that. And as for the new 4-star, it's gonna be a Geo Polearm user and a Lunar Crystallize support, which is kind of weird, but I'll go more into detail on that in a second. Back to Columbina and the White Horse. One more thing that's really important is this. Columbina and the White Horse will play together in a team that does Lunar reaction damage. This doesn't necessarily mean that the White Horse Adeptus will do Lunar reaction damage herself. Okay, and then it says Columbina will be synergistic with not quite characters that came before 6.3, but she will play very well with the White Horse, kind of like Cyrene and Evernight in HSR. I don't play HSR anymore, so if anyone understands this reference, let me know in the comments. The point is, Columbina doesn't need the White Horse in her team, but the White Horse needs Columbina. And I want to make this very clear because a lot of people are misunderstanding that. Columbina will be fully functional and usable without the White Horse, alright? She will be the #1 support and sub DPS in Lunar reaction based teams, so as long as you play her with not quite characters, everything's fine. But the White Horse on the other side needs Columbina. I'm telling you guys right now, this is another situation where if you don't pull the best in slot support for her, she's gonna be trash. Just like Flint's, just like Skirk, she's essentially dogshit without Columbina. So if you are planning to pull for the White Horse Adeptus, you might have to spend some money. Again, if you're just pulling for Columbina, you don't need to worry. But if you want to pull for the White Horse, bro, it's over. Because you're gonna have to pull 2 5-stars within the same version. Columbina in phase 1 and then the White Horse Adeptus in phase 2. Anyway, one more thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we're already getting a Lunar Crystalize DPS and a support in version 6.3. This is what confuses me the most, because before that, the character that was supposed to introduce the Lunar Crystallize reaction was obviously Sandrone, but now it seems like for some reason it's going to be the White Horse Adeptus instead of her, which doesn't make any sense if you ask me. If these two are both characters focused on Lunar Crystallize, what on earth is Sandrone going to be useful for? We already have a Lunar Crystallize DPS and support, so either Sandrone will power creep one of them, or she's gonna be a sub DPS who's also a shielder or something. I don't know. This is just really weird. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, Lunar Crystallize only interacts with Hydro. Not Pyro, not Electro, not Cryo or anything. Just Hydro. Now before we end the video, we have to keep in mind that we are only like 2 weeks away from the beta right now, which means that a lot of people are purposely just spreading misinformation. So we'll have to wait until the beta to actually confirm all of this stuff. I will let you guys know if we get any new updates. Join my Discord to not miss out on any new information. Make sure to check out Rush By, and with that being said, as always, I wish everyone a nice and wonderful day.